When it comes to the evolution of healthcare industry, technology goes hand in hand with the evolution of hospitals ranging from making of medicines, machineries, vaccines and various kinds of medical shots. The healthcare industry strives to uphold the reputation in the market for an everlasting growth period by gaining customers' trust and providing premium healthcare technology. These days, business should have an ethical and moral image to their company and encourage employees to be ethical workers. Being ethical in a business environment helps attract good investors and a large number of consumers. Corruption in the health sector can make the difference between life and death. It has severe consequences for access, quality, equity, efficiency of health and services. Theranos is one such example of a billion-dollar deceit committed by a business based on unethical conduct in the medical field. Speaking about this pharmaceutical giant, Theranos was the company who came over and tried to revolutionize the healthcare industry by bringing a dynamic technology of detecting diseases, illness, and running several tests with just a vial of blood. This had left the whole industry stunned, and many, including the biologists, physicians, chemists, and pharmaceutical scientists. Ultimately, all the test results of this pharma giant Theranos were proving to be false and inaccurate. It was soon revealed that this technology never existed and everything was just a marketing ploy by the company to gain quick profits and gain multiple investments. There were three main people who were highly responsible for this unethical issue. Elizabeth Holmes had launched Theranos in 2003 at the age of 19, just after dropping out of Stanford. Holmes is an American biotechnological entrepreneur and convicted fraudster. Sunny Balwani, the former top official of Theranos, had also been convicted by the federal jury as he helped perpetuate a years-long fraud scheme at defunct blood testing startup Theranos. And the board of directors in the years afterwards, a remarkable group of political and economical intellectuals had joined the board, including former US Secretary of State George Hulse and other influential figures. Theranos brought in more of shocking intervention which stunned the entire healthcare industry. They asserted that with an advanced and dynamic form of technology they had successfully overlapped the requirement of a vial of blood for tests with just a brick of it. Theranos claimed to be suitable to do hundreds of tests ranging from cholesterol situations to complicated inheritable analysis with just a single vial of blood. These tests were now widely made available to the consumers with much faster results and cheaper rates, which you psychologically enrolled them to go for it. Theranos was a business that claimed to have transformed the medicine industry in 2003. It was founded by Elizabeth Holmes, who dropped out of university to start this venture. With the increasing popularity of the owner and the revolutionary idea, it caught a lot of attention and especially of the investors, due to which Theranos was able to have a valuation of $197 million. Eventually, Theranos was worth around $1 billion and was soon joined with George Shultz and many other political leaders that would be a part of board of directors at the company. After almost a decade, Elizabeth Holmes takes the lid off of Theranos and announces the long-term partnership between Theranos and Walgreens, due to which the first Theranos Wellness Center location opens in Walgreens, where consumers can access to Theranos' blood test. Medicare and Medicaid services claim that an inspection of Theranos' California lab in November revealed deficient practices that put patient safety at risk. According to the reports, Elizabeth Holmes, founder of Theranos, lost her net worth of $4.5 billion after these accusations. Earlier this year, the company announces that along with shrinking its workforce by more than 40% and then would also focus on developing a micro blood testing device for the third parties. All residents of the state who use Theranos' blood testing services will now receive a full refund from the Attorney General's office, regardless of the accuracy of the results. The average customer will be paid $60.92, but at least one individual received more than $3,000. Theranos settles a lawsuit brought by investor, partner fund management seeking to recoup the $96 million investment it made in the company in 2014. Neither side disclosed terms of the deal. The company also cuts a deal with the last stage investors to give them additional shares in exchange for a promise not to sue. Federal prosecutors bring criminal fraud charges against Ms. Holmes and Mr. Bilwani. The initial prosecution detailed 2 counts of conspiracy to commit wire fraud and 9 counts of wire fraud. The total number of wire fraud charges later rises to 10. Theranos settled with additional investors who had sued the company. Elizabeth Holmes, founder of Theranos, had been sentenced to more than 11 years in prison over her role in blood testing firm that collapsed after its technology was revealed to be largely fraudulent. Holmes was convicted in January on 4 counts of defrauding investors. She appeared on Friday afternoon at a courthouse in California, where her nearly 4-month-long trial began in August 2021, alongside relatives and supporters. The sentencing marked a dramatic end to the years-long saga of blood testing firm. Now, talking about how severely the company was affected, Elizabeth Holmes was held responsible for the scandal and was immediately put behind the bars. The ultimate culture of secrecy was a crucial contributor to the survivability of the firm and has helped the company run the scam successfully without any external intervention. In compliance with the state rules of regulations, Theranos was held responsible for several legal and moral violations which had resulted in downfall of the company. As well as the scandal had brought the attention of the state country on rest of the operating companies in the pharma industry. All the operating companies were brought under strict scrutiny process and were ordered to operate with utmost transparency and sincerity. There was a huge unrest among the general public. Many were affected physically and mentally by the false test. People had adopted changes in their lifestyle, assuming the test results were absolutely correct and they were suffering from a chronic disease. This not only held the customers responsible for the refund, but may even demanded compensation for such drastic impacts on their lives as a result of forged and inaccurate results. As a result, enough experiences of customers emerged out and proved that these results not only affected the customers mentally, but also brought a drastic change into their way of living and physical activities. One such customer was tested positive to be suffering from autoimmune disease, which causes unnecessary panic and further disposition of money of different tests, appointments, and medications. Initially, the company had shut the voices of consumers who came up with complaints of the test being forged and inaccurate. Theranos had soon built strong ties with political leaders of Metro Phoenix. They had now confident enough with the continuity of the firm as they had received immense support from the government. The state attorney had showcased biases in the favor of the company by rejecting majority of the applicants brought against the company. Consumers very soon hesitated with their approach to legal legislations in regards to their complaints relating to inaccuracy and forgery of the results taking place. Theranos were met with several long-term implications such as federal indictment, poor financial management due to which the company failed in paying the creditors on time, couldn't provide the consumers of what they claimed about the test due to lack of technology. Elizabeth Elizabeth Holmes, the company's founder, and Sunny Balwani, a former president, were indicated by the federal government for improper project management. The business was associated with too many technology advances. The employees' lives were severely impacted by its failure since they were driven to make the company's research efforts effective. Elizabeth was convicted on the charges of defrauding investors, but the general public too demanded justice in compliance to increase the number of years of defendant. The jury ultimately found her guilty on 4 counts of fraud with a maximum sentence of 20 years in prison, but they found her not guilty on 4 other charges and failed to reach a verdict or 3 more. Later, based on all convictions, the court decided to sentence her for 11 years and 5 months. The main objective of the company was to develop a blood testing device which failed, resulting in loss of money, time, and adverse psychological effects on the employees who had devoted many years to this project. Despite frauding several investors for years, Elizabeth Holmes did not receive a severe punishment and her hearings were repeatedly postponed due to the pandemic.